everybody, and welcome to the great 80s, a decade of sports in Boston. There have been plenty of highs and, of course, plenty of disappointments, but all with plenty of passion. This program is a labor of love for us, and we start out with Alice Cook on our journey of memories.
In the last 10 years, New England has been witness to some of the most extraordinary happenings in the world of sport. There were times to remember and events we would rather forget. The darkest cloud of the decade descended on Shea Stadium in October of 1986. After being just one strike away from their first world championship since the earth was flat, Game 7 was the inevitable conclusion. Their dreams went up in smoke on that dark October night. It was the fourth time the Red Sox failed in a seventh game situation, dating back to the presidency of Woodrow Wilson.
All right, Calvin? It's been a great year.
There was more than one seventh game that did not go Boston's way, and this one happened at home. In May of '82, the Celtics squandered a return trip to the finals by losing to Philadelphia at the Garden. Not even the ghost of Celtics past could intimidate the team of Julius Erving and Andrew Toney, who combined to send the defending champions to the showers for good. Before they left to meet the Lakers in the finals, the Sixers were serenaded with a special Garden farewell. Was a local hero through and through. In 1981, the Red Sox failed to mail his contract on time. This became a free agent. In this conversation with Bob Lobel, he was unabashed in his comments regarding the Red Sox.
I'm looking for fairness and respect, and I just don't feel as though that I've been treated equally.
Here's the champion.
In April of '87, Brockton's marvelous Marvin Hagler entered the ring at Caesars Palace against challenger Sugar Ray Leonard. At stake was the undisputed middleweight title of the world. Sugar Ray shook off cobwebs of a 3-year retirement to win in a split decision. Afterward, a bitter Hagler cried foul.
It's not fair. They should have let me retire if I want to retire as undisputed middleweight champion of the world, and then let me make up my own decision later on whether or not I wanted to give Leonard a return match because he gave me a good challenge. It should have been my decision and not the judge's decision to take it away from me like that.
As many disappointments as there were in the last 10 years, there were many more reasons to celebrate. The Celtics raised 3 more championship banners in the 80s, and that, of course, had a lot to do with the arrival of Larry Bird. Let me ask you, is there any moment or event in the last 10 years that you take special pride in?
Well, there's a lot of moments. There's a lot of ups and downs in the last 10 years, but I think most of all there's a lot more ups than there are downs. 3 championships, the big games, the playoff games, and I played a lot of minutes in the last 10 years and been in a lot of battles, but it's been a good decade.
2 years ago in the playoffs, you and Dominique Wilkins had an incredible fourth quarter. How do you remember that game?
Well, the biggest thing is that we won, and we was very lucky to win. We played them in the playoffs. We went down to Atlanta on the brink of eliminations. We beat them down there by 1 point. Then we came back here and beat them, and they took the lead, I believe, early in the fourth quarter, and we were playing really good basketball. Then we came back and won in the closing 4 or 5 minutes. So it was a big game. It was a playoff game, which made it more fun.
The Bird-Dominique showdown was just one of many highlights of the 80s.
Bird has the ball in three-point land, and a three-point failed off Larry Bird!
You couldn't find a more awesome shooting battle if you looked at every John Wayne movie ever made. For 12 minutes, Wilkins and Bird waged a war of one-upmanship that has yet to be equal.
They're like 2 gunfighters just waiting to blink, who's going to draw first, and who's going to drop first. It would just boom, boom. Larry would make one, Dominique would make one. Larry would make one, Dominique would make one. Larry would make one, Dominique would make one. It was unbelievable. I tell you, there was about a 4-minute stretch there. That's about as pure as basketball you're going to see.
Dominique scored 16 points in that final frame. Bird had 20, as the Celtics advanced to the Eastern Conference Finals in unforgettable fashion. (1983), they called it the yacht race of the century, Australia 2 versus Liberty. The Australian syndicate arrived in Newport with a secret weapon that they kept under wraps and heavy security. The infamous winged keel gave the Aussies the first and last laugh, as Dennis Conner and his crew became the first Americans to lose the cup in its 113-year existence.
There it is, Phil. Thanks for the memory.
For Phil Esposito, it had been a long time coming. In a garden ceremony, number 7 was lifted to the rafters for posterity. In a touching gesture, Ray Bourque literally took the shirt off his back to reveal his new number. A total delight as one of the all-time Bruin greats gets his due. In June of '88, thousands of spectators crowded the galleries at the Country Club in Brookline to witness Boston's first Grand Slam golf event in 75 years. Curtis Strange and Nick Faldo would meet in an 18-hole playoff, and it would be Strange in command the entire way. The win for Curtis Strange may have changed his golf image forever.
Yes.
This is the greatest thing I have ever done. This is the greatest feeling that I've ever had. 99% of the time or more than that, your dreams don't come true. We all have our egos, and we want to be respected, not only as a person, but as a golfer. And one tournament in the U.S. Open doesn't do it, but it certainly helps a hell of a lot.
Cooper goes for 3. It's over.
1984, the Celtics went 7 games with the Lakers to bring home their second championship banner of the 80s. This series officially ended on June 12th, but the most excitement came 13 days earlier in Game 2. After losing the first game at the Garden, the Celtics came perilously close to going down 2-0, if not for Gerald Henderson.
Ball on a play, and it goes quickly in now to Magic. Back over to Worthy, and it's picked off. Goes to Henderson, he lays it off and out. It's all tied up. A great play by Henderson.
For a minute there, I could hear Johnny Moose going, Henderson steals the ball.
High pop-up. This may do it. Buckner is there. It's all over. The Red Sox are the new division champions.
With the Celtics winning championship number 16 and the Patriots in the Super Bowl, 1986 was perhaps the most incredible year of the decade. Even the Red Sox were able to share the spotlight. What started in the cool spring air culminated in the late September sun when the Sox clinched the division. They would go on to win the American League pennant. The win that day over Toronto opened a floodgate of emotion and hope for that elusive championship. In April of '88, the Bruins broke a 45-year drought against the Canadiens in the second round of the playoffs. Not only did the Bruins win the series, they finished the Canadiens off in the fabled Forum.
45 years down the drain.
Done, dead, kaput. And what jinx? What hex? What? Forum? 4-1.
After a series with the Devils, the Bruins would proceed to the Stanley Cup Finals, where they were swept by Edmonton. But removing the curse of the Canadiens was in many ways a cup unto itself.
Miller time.
And what a time it was.
Well, along with all those highs and lows, there were fantastic finishes. When we come back, we'll relive the best.
Thank you. I think after all the hollering and screaming, I look out in the crowd and I see one thing that typifies our season. Moses does, he